us. And at the end of it, we will have a contest also running alongside, and this will give you an opportunity to win an ARC mouse. So you have a lot of things happening today. With that, I'd like to welcome you to the Windows 7 online community launch. We've called it the Play to Windows 7. Play to is essentially a feature of Windows 7 that is very new in this new operating system. And I am Abhishek Kant. A lot of you already know me. If you don't, I am the MVP lead for South Asia, and I work for Microsoft Corporation India. My blog URL is mentioned right here, abhishekkant.net. And with that, I'd like to welcome the remaining presenters for the day. I'm not the only one who will be making all these presentations, but in a moment as I check slides. Okay. The other presenters for the day, you may see them and hear them during the course of the presentation today. One is Puneet Raheja. You have seen him do a lot of demos if you've attended any presentation by us. He is the program manager. And then we have Pradeep Parapil, who's the lead program manager and manages a lot of Windows localization activities that happen. And finally, we have Abhishek Bakshi, who is the MVP program specialist. He takes care of the MVP program along with me, and he's a big Windows and mobile enthusiast. So that was the presenters for the day. So let's move on. What are we going to be talking about today is this big. This is actual photo that we have taken from the window of the office, and you can see the big Windows 7 banner on the office, the Microsoft office in Gurgaon or Delhi. So it's just there to let you know the excitement is really in the air. All right, and if you still were wondering what we are going to be talking today, it is this. It is Windows 7, and it is your PC simplified. All right, so when you see this slide, we will be switching, as of moment, you don't have to, but when you see this slide come up, essentially use the video section of your live meeting that's there, and check up the link for the video. Right now there is just a video of the desktop coming on, which is a Windows 7 desktop. If you have any question and answers, please use the Q&A panel. The Q&A panel is located on the top of your screen in one of the menus, which is titled Q&A. All you need to do if you have to ask us a question is click on that and start typing your question. So that will let us know that you have a question in mind, and we will take a logical break as we go ahead. So with that, let's start exploring what Windows 7 is all about. It has been in, Windows 7 has been in beta phase and release candidate phase for quite some time. A lot of you have already had a little bit of experience with Windows 7 You may have heard things about Windows 7, and hopefully they are good. So today we wanted to show you really the version of Windows that's come up. So Windows in a holistic manner really is about getting onto all the screens that you see today. The screen on your PC, the screen on your mobile phone, we have one application running. We should be able to show you the same application on all the three screens. For Windows 7, it was really about thinking what are the new things that an operating system can do for you. And the one dominant theme that we've heard from people, from research with people and from research with the community at large, was they wanted their PC simplified. Over a period of time, the PC had gotten complex. The PC had a lot of things that were needed and a lot of things that were not needed that were available. So on the three assumptions, Windows 7 was built with the ultimate objective of making your PC simplified. So pillar number one was making your everyday tasks simpler. How do we enable this? Is by making it simple to use as much as possible, include enhancements that would help you get where you wanted to on your PC, the information on your PC and the applications on your PC faster. The PC should make it easy for you to browse the web in a secure way so that you don't have to worry what's going to happen when you visit a website. As much as technology can help you, Windows 7 wanted to help you with that. It should be easy to connect. Now, whenever we are traveling with the laptops, and this is the mobility with the PC has increased manyfold. And on that front, it should be easy to connect wherever you go to, be it a wired network, be it your corporate network, or be it a Wi-Fi hotspot that you visit with your coffee. And finally, it should make it easy for you to communicate and share. So these are some of the features we thought were most useful when we were talking about simplifying everyday tasks. Number two is works the way you want it to work. By making it faster and by making it more reliable, we think a PC turns the way you want it to be. It should be more secure and it should be compatible with you. So we'll see how all of that is done as we go forward, but finally, it should also make new things possible. So we should have new technologies, new features that everybody uses. The use of media is on rise in the PCs. You all hear music with your PCs, I hope. Now you can even watch live television on your PC. Very recently, I was trying to watch an episode of NDTV Profit, and my cable television does not actually give me that channel. So the only way I could watch the telecast was go to my PC and log on to ndtvprofit.com, where the option of live TV was there. So the media is all pervasive now, and it should not only be available on your computer or on your TV, but it's also running through all the three screens that we talked about. It should be able to work. You should be able to work anywhere you want to, and there should be new ways to engage. So these are the three pillars with an ultimate objective of making your PC simple. Now, Windows runs on a lot of PCs. PCs which are, I would say, state-of-the-art, running with 4 GB of RAM, a processor which is dual-core, quad-core, or I don't know how many cores. And you also expect your Windows 7 to run on very small factor or low factor netbooks, which hardly have any processing power. But still, you expect Windows 7 to work on it. And to enable this, Windows 7 comes in a lot of additions. These additions are Starter Edition, the Home Basic Edition, the Home Premium Edition, the Home Professional Edition, and the Ultimate Edition. Now, Starter Edition, and why are these? And then people always talk about why do we have all these editions in place? And we always say because Windows 7 is expected to work across the spectrum. You cannot solve a problem that a needle has to solve with a sword, and you cannot solve a problem that a sword has to solve with a needle. And for the same reason, where professional is, you don't need a Starter Edition. And where Starter Edition is, you don't need the Professional Edition. In addition to all what is available, you may also think about the features that you don't need. You may not want to pay for them. So if you don't want enterprise features like joining the group, joining the domain in the enterprise, or if you do not want joining the branch cache, all these features, if you don't want them, you shouldn't need to really pay for them. So, my message. Sorry, there was a bit of confusion here for the extra mics coming on. We've also announced the prices for all the three editions, as you can see up there. These edition prices are only for FPP packs. These FPP packs are nothing but what is available over the shelf for you to buy. But those are not the only options for you to buy Windows 7. Windows 7 is available and mostly bought in India with new PCs. So when you want to order it, when you want to order a new PC from HP or from Dell or from Zenith or from HCL or from any other PC manufacturer, you get Windows 7 pre-installed with the PC, and that is the mode that is most preferred and is the most economical as well. But in case you still wanted to buy Windows PC software now over the shelf, like in a bookstore or from an online store, those prices are what are mentioned for you. The highest, of course, is the professional for people who have dual use of their PCs, which means they want to take it to the office and use the same PC back home. That is, those people may be interested in professional versions, and significantly they are made available through your office IT department as well. And for people who want it to use only for home purposes, Home Premium is the best version we recommend, which has most of the features that you want to use. It has advanced graphics, it has all the aero support that you need. It also has support for touchscreen interfaces, which is something new ever seen in an operating system, and includes Media Center if you wanted to watch television using your normal cable channel. So with these, you have additional options of Home Basic and Starter Edition, but you can't buy Starter Edition in a box, like on the shelf. It is only available through the PC manufacturer's site. So in the system requirements, which are minimum that we support as of now, it's a 1 gigahertz processor, 1 GB of RAM that you need to run Windows 7, and minimally 16 GB of free hard disk space. Now here is a major point that you should note. Windows 7 is an operating system that supports both 32-bit and 64-bit natively. The same was true for Windows XP as well. Now in Windows Vista, this was also supported, and in Windows 7, this is supported as well. So 64-bit support is primarily driven if the hardware supports it. So it's like this. If you have a PC that you're using and you still don't know whether it's a 32-bit PC or a 64-bit PC, you probably have a 32-bit PC. 64-bit PCs are relatively rare. I wouldn't say they are not there, but they're there. They're there, and if you know your PC can support a 64 or has 64-bit capabilities, only and only then try to install a Windows 7 which is meant for 64-bit. You cannot install a 64-bit Windows 7 on a 32-bit PC. Now, it's purely performance and how much processing capability a PC has, which determines its whether it is 32-bit or 64-bit. So in case you do not know what PC you are running, you're probably running a 32-bit PC. If you explicitly know that you have a 64-bit PC and your hardware is meant for 64-bit, only then and then use a 32-bit, use a 64-bit version of Windows 7. All right, let's move on and see how Windows 7 simplifies your everyday task. And the first, simplifying your everyday task, we have extensive aero features. Now the first feature, we will see all of these in action as we go forward, but as of now, aero provides you with aero peak, and I will just run through the features quickly so that you can get to the demo as soon as possible. Aero peak is a feature through which you can peek through open windows and see your desktop and icons and gadgets and everything else that is there on your desktop, all with simply moving your cursor on that little button on the taskbar. And I'll show you which one. Aero shake is basically minimizing all the other windows using just the shape of the window that you want to be concentrating on. Again, we will see these features as in the video demo that's coming out shortly. In the other desktop enhancements, we have jump lists. These lists are basically when you right-click, these context menus open up, and they have additional features and capabilities that you can directly access even without opening the application. So we'll see how you access a jump list. You can pin the program on the taskbar that you have. So all these features, quite a bit of them, including jump lists, pin, they are actually part of the taskbar, and taskbar itself has been revamped drastically to make it much easier to use and to get to your applications much faster than it would have been possible earlier. You also have Arrow Snap, and in the Arrow Snap, you basically have moving your window on one side or the other with a simple move of the title bar of the window. You also have shortcut keys to do the same. We will also see how that happens. We have live taskbar preview. In this, you don't really have to open up the application to see what's going on. So if you're watching the video, you don't really have to get in and see what's going on in the application itself if it's a media player. But you can just move your cursor on the taskbar icon of the application, and a little preview mode opens up and lets you see what is in there. Same is true for a Word document that you may be working on, or an IE window that you may have opened up and waiting for something to download. And finally, you have some gadget enhancements in which you have gadgets that are no longer limited to the sidebar. Gadgets are free, really. You can put them wherever you want on your desktop. And the revamped Windows applications, these are the core and heart, and have been there with Windows operating systems ever since Windows 3.1. The calculator gets a makeover. You can do quite a bit more. Your favorite Paint and WordPad additionally get makeover. They now feature the ribbon, as you can see in the screenshots and as you will see in the video as well. And finally, we have games that have been enhanced, made much more good looking or 3D friendly, and they can also be played in a multiplayer mode if you have internet connection, and you can play internet checkers and whatever you wanted to. So these are some of the quick features I wanted to run you through, and I believe it's time for a quick demo. And while the presenter set this up, if you have any questions, please put them up on Q&A panel, and we will be happy to look them up and answer them for you.
Hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so I think one of the first things that you would see in Windows 7 is the like right here on the desktop is the redesigned taskbar. So one of the cool things that you can like I'll go through several of the features in the taskbar that Abhishek just talked to you about. So let me first start with the redesigned taskbar and how it looks like. So here you'll see like most of these icons, these large format icons, are right there on the taskbar, and you do have the flexibility of actually moving them around if you choose to. This was actually quite interestingly a very highly requested feature from our past releases. But the other thing that the new taskbar allows you to do is to get access to information pretty quickly. And what do I mean by that? So let's take an example of Word, for example. I'm sure that we all use it quite often. And one of the most common things we usually do is let me go to the file which I was last working on. So one of the ways you could do this in Word today in Windows 7 is you just need to right-click on the icon and you see what is known as the jump list. So if you're able to see the jump list which Abhishek is just showing you, you'll see that you'll see a list of recently opened files. And you'll also see something at the top which is an example of a pinned file. So like for example, if you have a document you work on, say daily, you would always want it to be easily accessible. So what I could do is I could just go to the jump list, and let's say for example I want to open one of these files. I could just click on this over here and the file opens up. So it's an easy way to access your information. In addition to this, one of the big changes you will see in the new para. So, for example, let's talk of Internet Explorer. Here I have I have like several windows of Internet Explorer open, some in multiple tabs. I could just hover over these previews, and you'll see that the screen actually shows me a quick preview of what is actually there in the window. So as I keep changing between these icons, you will see that the Internet Explorer screen changes as well. And this works across applications. So for example, I have a PowerPoint application open. I just need to hover over the PowerPoint icon, and I see a preview of what's there. And if I were to put my mouse over the icon, you'll see that the screen actually brings up the actual application. The other thing is, let's take an example of media player, for example, and you are playing some kind of a video over here. In this case, what happens is, if you were to minimize this video, you can actually see the video playing even on the taskbar preview, and you have the option of even controlling it. So if you want to pause it, the buttons are right there for you to pause it. So I mean, I'm playing some video, I want to pause it, I could pause it right here, play it from here, control all of these right from the icon. The other thing I wanted to show you about jump lists, coming back to jump lists, is that the jump list varies by application. So while Word had a list of recently opened files, you will see that the Media Center, for example, has something called as Program Guide, and a list of frequently played music and stuff like that. If I were to go to Media Player, it has something else, which is like, say, resume previous list, play music, and a list of music again. Internet Explorer again has a different set of jump list items. It depends upon the application. They can choose to have a jump list which suits the application. Coming back to the desktop productivity thing, I think one of the most common things we do is we have a whole bunch of screens open, and usually it takes us some time to get to the right window, because many of us have so many browser windows, documents, PowerPoints, and getting to the right window usually means, in an earlier era, it would mean like you shift Alt Tab through all of these windows to kind of locate the right one. Now in Windows 7 we have something called as arrow peak. So let me quickly show you what arrow peak means. So let's say you have a whole bunch of windows on the screen. Like if you see right now my desktop is quite cluttered, right? And I just want to get to my desktop. What I need to do is I just need to move my icon to the extreme right bottom, and you'll see that all of these cluttered windows on the screen have gone transparent, and I can straight away look, see what's there on my desktop. And if I move my mouse away from this, these windows come back. The same preview feature also works from the taskbar. So for example, if I were to be, let's say I'm in Word, and I were to just hover my mouse over the window, you'll see that it's just showing me that particular window, and everything else is transparent. So it's basically an easy way for you to get to the right window. It kind of hides everything else. Let me show you one more thing. Let's say you have a whole bunch of files on your screen, and you want to actually clear off the whole set from your desktop. All you need to do is you just need to hold one window and just shake it, and you'll see that everything is gone back and your screen has been wiped clean. And if you want to bring it back, all you need to do is to just shake it back, and everything is back where it was. So this is like a cool feature called Arrow Shake. So besides this, we quite often work on multiple applications, multiple documents. So let's take this example of one Word file which is called organizational realignment, and maybe I have another one which is called adventure works, and I want to kind of work on both of them side by side. All I need to do is if I were to be using the keyboard, I just need to do a Windows and a right arrow, and you'll see that the document kind of snaps to the right of the document, to the right of the screen. And if I were to type Windows and the left arrow, it snaps to the left of the screen. So it's an easy way for me to kind of work on multiple documents. If it's a comparison, I could easily compare both of them. And so this is something called as arrow snap. Yeah. These are some of the desktop productivity enhancements that I just wanted to show you. Back to you, Abhishek.
Okay, thanks a lot. That was Pradeep, who took us through the desktop productivity enhancements. And in your video screens, you may have seen quite a bit of movement there and new features getting highlighted. Let's move on. So if you do have any questions, and I see almost 13 questions in the Q&A panel, let me just look at them very quickly and see if we can provide some answers to you. Okay, I am removing this. There's a lot of hands that were raised, and I see quite a bit of questions here. Mohit mentions that video is hanging a lot. Sorry if that's happening. We will also have a recording available later on that you can view for a smoother experience. There's a question about, is there a difference in price between the 32-bit and the 64-bit version of Windows 7? No, there isn't. For the price of actually the one pack, if you wanted to buy a home premium or if you wanted to buy the professional version, you would be getting both the 32-bit and the 64-bit versions. So if you're looking for a DVD, it'll have both the versions included in there. Why isn't the enterprise version of Windows 7 mentioned here? The reason it's not mentioned here is it has the same features as the Ultimate, and we did not want to confuse people with the functionality and the additions. Enterprise you can't buy off the shelf, really, or you don't have access to unless you are an organization. So if you are a normal person who is a family and he wants to install it on his home PC, the features of or the Windows Enterprise Edition is not available, and it only differs, the Enterprise version only differs in the way it is licensed. There are no functionality differences, hence we did not want to confuse people even further. All right, let's see. What is Arrow Shake? Arrow Shake, you just saw Pradeep when he was demoing the Windows desktop enhancements. He was showing the Arrow Shake. It was a shake with a little jiggle of the title bar of the window. You can actually minimize and maximize the remaining windows so that you can only focus on the window that you are working on. And as you can see, this is what Pradeep is demoing for you on the screen on the video right now. Shake it and you get the screen that you are focused on at the moment, and the rest of the windows minimize. Shake it again and all of them come back. It's a quick way to
minimize all the other windows, and that's what it is, the arrow shake. You were talking about aerospace. Could you explain it technically? I think I did not say aerospace. Just to be clear, I meant arrow shake, like shake it baby scenario. So, it's that. I just explained what arrow shake is. It's just a way of minimizing it quickly and in a fun manner. Right. Let's move on. The question is from Jay, who's asking, can we install Windows 7 on a Microsoft virtual PC for testing purposes? Virtual PC is nothing except a virtualization environment. And yes, you can install Windows 7 on a virtual PC. What you may take a hit on is the arrow features, as the virtual PC may not be in a position to handle the hardware requirements that are there, the graphics card power that is required for Windows 7 to use arrow and make the arrow features available to you. So yes, you can install. Okay. Are there differences in activation of different versions of Windows? So for home PCs that you've just seen, there is no difference in the way Windows 7 is activated. Aditya is asking, define arrow shake again. Arrow shake is simply a feature, a fun feature basically, by which you can minimize all the windows except the one that you're currently working on. For this, you just need to shake the title bar of the window that you're currently using, and that will minimize the windows except the one that you are shaking. Shake it again, and all the other windows come back. So that is arrow shake for you then. What extra facilities are provided for internet users? I will reserve this question for later to answer because we have more slides on this one. Is it possible to install Windows 7 with Vista? Generally, you would want to upgrade Vista with Windows 7. I haven't tried to install them side by side, if that's what you mean. I really do not know the answer to it, if you can install Windows 7 side by side with Vista. But if you have two different partitions, and I am not sure, so I will not answer those with certainty as of now. So ideally, you should be able to install Windows 7 side by side with Vista if you're using two different partitions to install them. However, if you're trying to install Windows 7 with an existing Vista, it will detect that an older version of Windows is available and offer you an upgrade option if you are using Vista. There's a question from Venkat who's saying, while chatting on Live Messenger or Yahoo Messenger, if the person on the other side buzzes, will all the other windows at this end close down? Well, what you've just mentioned, Venkat, is an application feature, and whether Live Messenger or Yahoo Messenger will enable it in the future, I don't know. But as of now, Windows natively does not support this feature. How is security enhanced in Windows 7? Again, I will reserve this answer for a little later. We have more on that. Is Windows 7 compatible with Dynamics like Dynamics Nav and AX? It's a great question. What I would request you to do, instead of me answering this question, there is actually an application compatibility page that has been set up that you can view to see not only compatibility for Dynamics applications, but you can also see application compatibility with all the other applications that you may have. So refer to that site, and from there you can obviously look if it is compatible or not. We will have, I will share this URL in a moment. So give me 1 second as I share this. I'll move on to the next one. We can install different versions, OS with Windows, I've tried with Windows XP. Yep, it's an observation from one of the attendees who says that they can really install Windows OS with multiple boot options. And he's already tried it with Windows XP and it works. I said yes. As I said earlier, yes, it should be possible by side-by-side installations. Thank you for the input as well. Manan says dual boot is possible, having Vista on one partition and 7 on the other. It's been tried and tested. Thank you for that input as well. Okay. Santosh is asking us, we are using a beta version. Can we use the same copy after the trial period by registering it? No, you will not be able to do that, Santosh. Unfortunately, all beta versions and all RC versions really are not binary compatible with the released versions. The released version carries a lot of new developments, new features. All the files in the operating system are changed, and hence it's required of you to actually do a clean install if you're using beta and you want to move to an RTM or a released version. You won't be able to upgrade it in place. If we have Linux installed and we want to install Windows 7, can we install? Absolutely. We've just discussed this. It doesn't matter what OS is there. You can obviously install Windows 7 on a separate partition if you wanted to. So Mohan is asking us if I have SP presently. So this, oh, did you mean XP? Okay. I have XP present on my PC and it's 6 years old. Video card is also old. Is it worthwhile to upgrade my old PC or upgrade with Windows 7 schedule next year end? Mohan, I cannot answer this question without getting deeper into this, but I know who can. And that is an application called Windows Upgrade Advisor. So I would encourage you to go there. And we will be talking a little bit about the advisor as well on this one. Use Windows Upgrade Advisor, and it will tell you which hardware that you have is compatible and which one is not. So download the Windows Upgrade Advisor, run it on your machine. It will detect what is there and what's not there, what's compatible, what's not, and will suggest you even what applications that you have installed may not be compatible with Windows 7. So use Windows Upgrade Advisor as the first step for any upgrade from any operating system, of older operating system that you may be using, be it XP or be it Vista. Okay. If I buy Windows 7 Ultimate Edition, can I use it both on my home PC and workplace laptop, or do I need to buy two separate OSs? Well, it's a licensing question. If it's the same machine that you are using, go ahead and use it on that one and use it as both. But I see your question is about PC and laptop. Obviously, they're two different devices, and the licenses ideally you would want to buy are two. One for your home PC and one for your workplace laptop. Though Windows does enable multiple activations of the same, or using the same product key, but it's always on the same PC. So the answer to that is you do need two licenses in the scenario that you've described to me. Can we use AeroShake feature with self-developed applications? Yes. It's, as I said, AeroShake is an operating system feature, so it's by default available with any application that you develop. There is not anything by which we can upgrade our RC. No. You need to reinstall. if you want to install the RTM version. If I want Windows 7 to install with not so graphic advancements, what will be the minimum hardware needed? We've already run through the minimum hardware requirements with you, but what you're then looking for is a home basic or maybe even starter edition of Windows if you don't want all the graphics to go with. So it's the edition that you may be worried about and maybe thinking of. So home basic edition may be the right one to get. I already have Windows 7 installed. I downloaded it from MSDN subscription. So 15 days ago. Do I still need to reinstall it to get full features? You haven't told me, and that's Mahindra who's asking this question. You haven't told us if this is an RTM version or RC or a beta that you installed from MSDN. But if it is an RTM version, which was available on MSDN for some time now, you don't really need to reinstall. It's the same version that is now becoming available to everybody. If there's any other version, then you need to obviously do the reinstall. How do you check what version it is? Just go to your computer and right-click on it and see the properties. And from there, you'll be able to see what version of Windows you're running. And right now, that's being demoed on the screen as well, so you can really see what is there on your machine, really. Okay. All right. Till what date will the beta edition be valid? Well, the beta edition actually went away, or the support for beta edition went away quite some time ago. But if you have RC running, that is always, if I remember correctly, that was March 2010, by which time this will still be active. So you have to March 2010 to run RC and not the beta version. Okay. Do all versions of Windows 7 have same system requirements? Yes, they do, except when you are thinking of 32-bit versions and 64-bit versions. The requirement for starter editions and the starter edition and the home basic may be a little less on the graphic card requirement because they do not need that much of hardware support for running the graphics because they don't have aero features in there. But essentially, it's almost the same except the graphics card. And as I said, the minimum requirement may change also for the 64-bit editions vis-a-vis the 32-bit editions. Files either burnt on CD, DVD, or copied onto pen drive can be easily read in other OS sets like Windows XP without any issues. Yes, absolutely. Anything that you burn on CD, DVD, or USB pen drive is fine, and it can be read in any other OS. Is there any improvement, enhancement in system restore? Many times restore does not work in XP. Yes, reliability has been worked significantly in the backup and restore feature of Windows 7 as well. I love all the questions that are coming through, and they're coming through at a faster rate. I can answer them. Thank you for such enthusiasm. Keep questions coming in. I was told in case of XP that it can be installed on desktop and one laptop by the same person. Is the same rule applicable to Windows 7? In fact, Avneet Gupta of Microsoft confirmed that it is possible. Can you confirm this? That's Dr. Pavanaja. Dr. Pavanaja, sorry, I cannot confirm that if that's true because
different machines need different operating systems. So yes, maybe we need to seek more clarification on this one, but as far as I know, it's not possible. If I want to install Windows 7 Enterprise on laptop without graphics card, will Aero be disabled automatically and Windows 7 works smoothly? You will not be, okay, assuming you have access to Windows 7 Enterprise and you don't have a graphics card, yes, Aero will be, or I'll put it this way, there is already a graphics card, maybe not a maybe a not high performing one on your motherboard already, because most motherboards now come with some sort of a graphics card, and it supports the minimum graphic cards requirement, which is of a WDDM 1.0. If it supports all that, then yes, you will be able to do all that, and Aero will be disabled in case it does not find appropriate capabilities in the hardware. It will then disable it, and it's true for other editions as well. Does edition, which edition, come with Windows 7 SDK? So Windows 7 SDK is a separate download, and you can install it on any edition that you want. Can you detail certification exams related to Windows 7? It's a great question. I currently do not have information on what certifications have been released, but Jay, you can write to us. I can try and figure out this answer for you. Please drop your question to contest@merawindows.com, and we'll help answer the question for you, gather some more information. Which version of Office Suite is supported by Windows 7? Any specific version? There is no specific requirement or support that's made available for Office Suite in Windows 7, but if you're running Office 2003, Office 2007, or forthcoming Office 2010, they should all be supported fine by Windows 7. In case you find some application that you cannot, or you've not been able to install properly on Windows 7, then you can obviously use a specific mode in Windows 7, which is called XP mode, and we'll see, or we'll hear about that as we go forward. In addition, I would in addition, I would also say that there is an end-of-life policy for all Microsoft products in terms of till what time they are supported. So you have to also see in that context of Office Suites that the product has not fallen off the support schedule from that. Okay, we are almost at 3 o'clock now. So let me see what we can do, as there are more questions and a lot more questions here. Let me just try and take one or two more, and then we'll come back to presentation. Quite a bit of your answers, your questions will get answered as we go forward with the presentation. One or two more questions. Windows 7 gets a blue screen once I install the semantic endpoint. It will boot only in safe mode. Normal mode does not work. Oh, sorry, I lost this. So, okay. Do you have any idea on that? Okay, it's a great question, really, Mahendra. I do not know if there is a specific compatibility issue with semantic endpoint, but as I said, there is an application compatibility page that's been put up. Please check it out. Maybe they have put up a resolution. In addition, Action Center is a good place to let you know if there is any compatibility issues or existing compatibility issues that are that are there. Let's go forward and see. On my computer property, there is Windows 7 Ultimate written, but as I know, I have RC. All right, the way to see it is The RTM version is build 7600. So if you have any other version than build 7600, you are not running the RC version, the RTM version. Can I run this version on Celeron PCs? Yes, you can run Windows 7, and I'm not sure you mean which version, but yes, you can run Windows 7 on Celerons too. Actually, you can run them on Atom as well, which is for the notebook, much less power than even Celerons are. Okay. What has been taken out in Vista, which is not there in Windows 7? All right, there are a lot of more, many more questions. I will just probably move on as of now because there has been a lot of them. I will come back to your questions in a moment. So let's just move on for now. I appreciate all the questions. Please keep them coming. We will take a logical break after we've covered a little bit of more territory, and maybe those questions that you have would have gotten answered by now. So let's move on. Okay, we just saw, actually we saw some time ago the demo of the desktop productivity. We wanted to highlight some additional things that have been added in terms of the features. So to provide better access to the applications that you have, we have added something called a device stage. We'll just be getting into a demo of device stage shortly. The device stage essentially gives you access to the features of the device that you have installed. And this has to be enabled by the device driver itself. So it's not something that's native to Windows 7. It needs the support of the device that you're attaching, be it a camera, be it a MP3 player, or anything else that needs support from the manufacturer as well. Libraries, they basically are an excellent feature that I use almost every day. You have music in different folders. You have photos from different folders. You have videos in all the different folders that you can think of, and a lot of documents which are spread all over. Libraries give you a option of consolidating all of them in just one section, let me put it this way. So one library can actually have multiple folders coming in from there, and you can organize that library not only based on the folder they're coming from, but on date, when they've been updated, or by author, and a few more things that we'll look at. And also, you have a new troubleshooting interface. We've attached a screenshot that you can see for this right here. We've had no trouble running Windows 7, so we haven't actually run through this one. But what we're told is you get a lot of new, easy-to-do troubleshooting steps with a much more user-friendly. In networking, we have added quite a bit of new features, which include home group. Now, earlier, people used to have a single machine in their homes, but now almost everybody has more than one PC in their home, a laptop, a PC, or multiple laptops. Home group actually allows you to network all of these in a very simple way. All you need to do is use one PC or a laptop to create the home group and allow others to just join the home group. We will see this demo as we go forward. There is a simple and a simplified interface for figuring out and connecting to the available networks. So it's a very simple, easy to access network scenarios. So with a simple click or a single right click, you can figure out what networks are there in your vicinity, and with one click in the same interface, you can connect to that interface as well. Finally, you have location-aware printing. It so happens that if you're using a laptop in office and home, as I do all the time, I have a different printer for home and I have a different printer for the office. The Windows 7 is intelligent enough to know that when it's moved to a different network, it needs to switch its printer or the default printer to a different one. So in my home, I just connect to my home network, which is in a home group, and automatically the network or the PC in the network, which is my laptop which I've just connected, detects this change that I've connected to the home network and makes my home printer the default printer, so that whenever I send any document for printing, it by default goes to the printer in home. When I take the same laptop and come to office and I issue the command for printing, it prints to the default printer, which is now actually the office printer located in my network. So that is location-aware printing. Let's quickly take a look at the device stage features and the networking features, and I would hand it back to Pradeep to help us explore this even further.
Thanks, Abhishek. So one of the things which Abhishek just talked about is the device stage. Just to give you a little bit of background on it, we all live in the age of devices. All of us have music players, digital cameras, phones, and quite often these days we connect it to the computer. So let me give you let me show you one of these devices, which is like the I don't know if you can see it properly. I'm sorry, it's a little bit dark, so that we can show you the screen properly. And this is actually a creative Zen player. And what happens is that the moment I connect this on to the USB, what happens is on Windows, coming back to the desktop, you'll see this small icon which actually shows you the photo of the device. And if I hover over it, it actually shows me a quick preview of the device as well. So it's exactly the same device which I have connected. And the moment I click on it, what happens is it shows a custom screen. Now in this particular case, what it really tells me is that it's a creative Zen. It shows me the battery status, that it's 100% remaining, the amount of disk there, and it also shows me some activities which I can do with this particular device. There is a lot more detail which can come over here in the device stage, depending on the device you connect to. So for example, I do not have the phone here, but if you were to connect to, or if you were to connect a Nikon camera, for example, it would show you a photo of the Nikon camera, and it would show you information such as where you could download the manuals from, and if there's any firmware update available and stuff like that. So this is what device stage is about. It basically allows you to manage your devices easily, and it also connects you to resources which help you keep your device up to date. I think the next thing that Abhishek spoke to you about was the networking part of it, right? While going into the networking part, I think one of the things I may also want to quickly talk to you about is the way that like you just see these 5 icons over here on the right side and this basically makes sure that your taskbar is less cluttered. And here, if I were to click on the networking icon, so you'll see in this case it basically tells me where I'm connected to. In this case, I am in Office, so it shows me Microsoft.com. And it also shows me a list of wireless networks which are available. Now, if I had more than one wireless network, it would have shown me the entire set. And right from here, I could actually connect to them as well. So you'll see the small icon which says connect, and if I were to click on it, it connects me to the wireless network. If you want more detail on the network and what is the situation, you could click on there's a hyperlink at the bottom which is Open Network and Sharing Center. If I were to click on it, it basically gives me a high-level view of the network. So for example, in this case, it kind of tells me that I'm on this PC and I'm connected via this network to the internet. It also shows me a list of active networks, which is in this case corp.microsoft.com. And it also gives me 3 or 4 status items, which is like, it's on the internet, I have a home group, and it also allows me to connect or disconnect if I choose to. So the other key thing which is it's like one of the key features of Windows 7, and this is really targeted towards the home, is the home group. So I mean, I'm sure that many of us have like more than one computer, or quite often we have a PC at home and we often bring a work laptop home. And connecting both of these devices, while it's always been possible for a very long time now, not many people do it because they view it as a fairly cumbersome or difficult task. Now, with Home Group in Windows 7, this really simplifies it. So I'll give you an example. So here I have this touch PC which you are actually seeing on the camera, which Abhishek is focusing on. And I have another laptop which is connected to this Home Group, and this is called Laptop 1. And if I were to click, so it's nothing but a small network inside my home with all these documents and information shared. So for example, if I want to look at the documents in my laptop from my PC, I could do all of that. It shows me the whole set of documents over here, just like you could in a network inside your home. Now, I will not show you how to set up the home group, but let me quickly show you the home group screen so that you have an idea of how easy it is to do this. So here, for example, in this case, it shows you the home group screen. Since I'm already connected to home group, it gives me the option of what are the things I can share, or what are the things I have already shared. And it also gives me the option of leaving the home group. Now, one of the questions you may have is that, if I create a home group, can anybody join it? I mean, this is a question like, let's say you have a wireless network in your house. Can your neighbor join your home group and actually access all your files, would be the question you have. But one thing over here you can see is that there's an option to see the password. So access to the home group is actually secured through a password. So when you actually create the home group, this password is randomly generated, and anybody in your house who wants to connect to the home network needs to enter this password. This is of course a one-time activity, and once they have entered this password, they have access to all the home group features. So this is what the home group is about. Let me also show you some of the okay. So I can if you have connected the home group, it's also visible in the media player. So for example, here you'll see when I open up the media player, it actually shows me the laptop 1 over here and all the music and stuff like that, which is accessible to me from here. So over to you, back to you, Abhishek.
Wow, that was quite a bit of networking enhancements, but that is not it. There is more, and we'll see more of the networking enhancements as we go forward. If you have any more questions, please keep them coming. We'll be happy to take them as well. Okay, so let's move forward and see what's up. Windows 7, the next is it works the way you want it to work. And in this, let's first look at performance. And now some of the features that we're going to be talking about is actually something that are difficult to really show, but it's to be felt by your own self. But we can still try and show you some things. So number one is sleep and resume. Both these features are extremely quick now. Putting a PC to sleep and putting or waking a PC or Windows 7 PC from sleep is very quick. So I will ask Pradeep to quickly keep that going in the demo screen while I talk about the improved memory use. So with the memory, you can see it is it's very efficient with the memory use, and the way it does is that it only fires up device drivers and things like those when actually it needs to. It only triggers application compatibilities or application functions when it actually has to. So I see Pradeep has actually just put it to sleep and put his PC to sleep, and he's now actually switching on the PC now. So you can see the PC is actually back in action in less than
2 seconds. 2 seconds is all it takes to put a PC to power back from sleep. So this is the feature which has been greatly enhanced, and everything comes back in the resume stage really, really quickly. Power management, obviously Windows 7 is much better with handling the devices in a very power efficient manner. Not only it handles the default battery schemes better, but it also handles things like DVD, and when you're playing something from DVD, it makes a better usage of running the DVD and spinning the DVD much more efficiently, so that you use less power, ultimately giving you longer battery life. All right, so let's move on. And next thing that we wanted to talk about is the Windows search and the federated search. So Windows search is much better now. If you look at or if you type anything in the search bar, which is there in the start menu, the results come up much faster, and they come up from much deeper into the folder hierarchy as well. So this search has been enhanced significantly. There is also a new feature called federated search. So in this, all you need to do, or what the feature is basically using your Windows Explorer, you can actually search for things which are online. So if I wanted to search something in Twitter or something on Wikipedia, the federated search capability lets me add those capabilities or add those search capabilities really, really quickly. Now, if you see currently, there's already in the Explorer's window that Pradeep has for us, there is a federated search available for Channel 9 and Wikipedia. So we'll look at that in a moment. In DirectX, in the gaming field, Windows 7 comes up with a new DirectX version, which is DirectX 11. Currently, not a lot of games are available because it's very new using this feature, but this is the next API that the gaming industry is going to be using. Well, so let's take quickly a look at various things we talked about in this section. Again, I'll hand it back to Pradeep. So thanks, Abhishek. Once more, like just to come back to the demo. Yeah. So what you see on the left side is a series of favorites. So in this case, you'll see Channel 9, you'll see Wikipedia, you'll see MSDN, and of course there's some recorded TV as well. And if I were to search for, let's say I'm searching for Delhi, for example, in Wikipedia. You'll see right within this window, it actually goes out and searches inside of Wikipedia and gives you a whole set of information. So let's take the first example. If I were to click on it, it actually opens up a browser page on Wikipedia for Delhi. I was searching for Delhi, and so what this really means is that within the same search window, you could actually search multiple data sources, and in most cases, it's configurable as to what you want to be searched. So it could be either public sites like Wikipedia or Channel 9, or it could even be the intranet that you want to search. So you could search across your PC, the internet, and your intranet, and have the results in the same page. So let me also show you the power settings which are there in Windows 7, and let me just a second. So firstly, you have the option of selecting multiple options for controlling the power. So here, for example, you have the options on when you want to dim the display, turn off the display, etc. Overall, as a what do you say, as a OS version, it's definitely a product which leads to significant savings in power. So, I mean, if you're looking at a large deployment of many thousands of PCs through the course of a year, it could mean significant savings for a corporation. The other thing which I wanted to show you was you could actually even create your custom plan, which is based on like, you know, it could be like you could actually select one of these options, and you know, whenever you want to, you could choose to change it. Over to you, Abhishek.
Okay. Thank you, Pradeep, once again. Let's take a few questions now. I'm sure that has already vetted some of your appetite for Windows 7. Here's a question on device stage. Device stage, has it only to be a USB device, or PA2 devices will also work, like keyboards and mouse? So it's a great question. As of now, I understand it will only work with USB devices and devices actually that add support for device stage. But it's a good question. I need to seek a little more clarification on this one. All right. Let's move ahead and see what the next question is. Can I connect to a Wi-Fi enabled laptop through the one I'm using with Windows 7 installed? How can I connect to a Wi-Fi enabled laptop through the one? It's a question from Vatu. All right, I'll come back. Okay, so I really cannot understand. I'll come back to this question in a moment. Tell me how we can create a folder or website through OSDX files. So Arpit is referring to the federated search feature that we referred to earlier. It's very easy actually to create the OSDX files, which is basically an XML file, which you can use to basically create these search connectors. To create them, I would recommend you visit msdn.microsoft.com, and there you will have the schema available, and you'll know what exactly to create. There has been some changes in the schema in the RTM version for the OSDX files, and for the latest, I would just request you to go back to MSDN and look that up. Which search engine results is Windows Explorer using to search internet? Okay, so I think initially what we were trying to demo to you is the federated search feature. What that feature does is gives Explorer the capability to search websites that have that capability available as a web service or through the normal REST interface. Now, to do that, you need an OSDX file. So you can create these OSDX files and add to the Explorer menu. You can have OSDX files basically for any website. You can create it for a specific website like merawindows.com, and it will search in MeraWindows, or for Wikipedia or for Flickr. There are already search providers which people have written for. Or if you wanted to create one for Bing or Google or Redis or any of your favorite search engines, you can go ahead and do that. So the one that we were actually demoing was basically for Wikipedia. For direct stage, do we only need USB devices and not old PS2 devices? As I said, Mohit, earlier, in my opinion, it is only USB devices, and those devices, drivers, have also to support direct stage. So old PS2 devices will not work because, number one, they do not support device stage, or they did not support device stage earlier. Device stage is a new technology introduced in Windows 7, so they will not work. But the generic question of whether any PS2 device, which is even in the future going to come, and will that use, or will device stage enable PS2 devices which are going to come up, will they support device or direct stage? I have a doubt in my mind myself. But PS2 is generally an old technology, and we don't see a lot of devices come out in that PS2 category anymore. So I'm assuming it is primarily meant for USB devices. But as I said, I have to seek more clarifications on this one. And obviously, older devices are not supported. Okay. Jay is asking, is there any other performance and monitoring tool compare Vista in Windows 7? I'm not sure about this question really. Are there any other performance and networking tools that compare Vista? Not really sure. Jay, if you can please rephrase your question, be able to help you with that. Will new drivers be available for common devices like printers, webcams, etc.? That's a question that the device manufacturer has to answer for you. But by going by how devices are released, I don't see a lot of device manufacturers actually going out and refreshing their drivers for device stage compatibility. Sunil is mentioning that the video conferences or the video demo is not properly coming out. All right, feedback taken. AKPS is asking, what are the features available in Vista and not on Windows 7? Wow. Okay, got asked this one for the first time. Well, for once, they have taken out Windows Mail, which was there in Vista by default. They have taken out the whole Messenger that used to have or that used to be installed earlier. It's no more there in Windows 7. So you can, so those are some of the things that are being removed. In terms of features, I cannot recollect of anything significant that's been removed from Vista that is there in Windows 7. Maybe one or two little things, not sure, but yeah, I don't think there's much that's been removed except these applications that we talked about. If anybody else has any thought on that, please feel free to put them in as well. Okay, Mohan, does Windows 7 have generic drivers for old devices for which Windows 7 may not be supported? So Mohan, it's a little, it's a question that actually the ecosystem has to solve. Obviously, there are generic devices, device drivers for most of the devices that are there, but I can't guarantee that if there is a new biometric device that's not built for Windows 7 or does not have device compatibility with Windows 7, will that have a generic driver for it? I don't know. There are a lot of devices out there. For most devices, yes, there is a device driver, generic one, but there are n number of devices. You know, there are sensors, there are GPS devices, and there are many more devices that you and me may have never seen. At least I know I have not seen many of them myself, but they're there. So yes, generic drivers are available. The good thing about about Windows 7 is that Once it determines that a new driver is available for a specific device, or if your device has been malfunctioning, Windows 7 will make sure that it checks out its own device driver database if the manufacturer has provided it, and provide you with an option of upgrading that device driver on your machine. It's made available through the Action Center, which basically is your central command for all application actions which you need to take. Okay. Abdul is raising his hand, but Abdul, you need to type in your question really. Jay has a question on many of the games are not supported in Windows 7, so is there any option? Yeah. If you find a game that's not compatible with Windows 7, you can obviously play it through the XP compatibility mode. If an application actually does not get installed properly on your machine, Windows 7 will automatically offer you additional recommendations on how it can be installed properly, saying this is not installed properly. It will detect that it's not been installed properly and will offer you options of certain settings which is good for Windows Vista or Windows XP. If that application was, it will give you that option of reinstalling it again. Ravanaja is saying Hindi LIP has been released. What about Kannada and other language lips? So great, you've discovered the Hindi lip. I'm actually running my PC on Hindi lip. The remaining are coming soon. There are almost 12 languages that are planned for the LIP in Indian languages, so they should be coming out soon. As of now, we don't have a release date for the same. Is there performance difference in upgrade and clean install? Question by Abdul. Yes, actually, Abdul, there is. When you say end performance, there may be little to no difference in this install. When you're upgrading, sometimes your drivers are pre-installed and they may still not be upgraded directly when you're installing the Windows 7. What you can do is go into Device Manager and try and upgrade it. Right-click on it and search online for upgraded drivers. So that's a good option, and that may hamper your performance. But in case you have an option of doing a clean install ever in any Vista or XP, please go ahead and do that. You will see much better performance. In terms of installation time, the clean install is much faster, much quicker than the upgrade, because upgrade has to migrate all your files and file settings. It does through which it internally does. It does take a lot of time to do that install. So there is a significant difference in install times if you are doing upgrade rather than a clean install. One of my friends who is a hardcore gamer said to me that the games have higher frame rate in Windows 7 than other OSs, and unlike Vista, Windows 7 supports games very well. I know that there is support or new gaming API available, which is the DirectX 11. And for more information, I'll give it to Pradeep, who has more to share.
So I think this is a correct statement. In fact, DirectX 11 offers significant advancements in the way games are rendered on screen. In addition to this, I would urge those of you who are into gaming and maybe developing games to also take a look at the Sensor API. So what the Sensor API really does for you is that, it allows you to bring a whole new way of interacting with games. So if you have a chance, take a look at the Sensor API demo on MSDN and Channel 9, and you'll see that you can have controls like movement, accelerometers, lights, etc. All part of these are all part of the Sensor API, provided the appropriate devices are connected, and it can be leveraged for use in your game. So yes, overall, I think the gaming experience on the PC is all set to be like much more richer. Thanks, Abhishek.
Okay. Will installing Win 7 remove the Linux boot file? Will we get two OSs in the startup as option?
Yes, it's simple. I mean, it's the same way you would install any two operating system on your PC. It will give you the option of installing or booting into Linux or booting into Windows 7. It does not remove the option of booting into Linux or any other operating system that you may have on your other partition. Okay, what is the command used for changing the configuration of power management? It's a question by Aditya. Did you mean the command what we typed into the screen? We just set power and it'll give you the options of what are the power management option. If you're looking for the command line utilities for what command you can type in the command line, well, I don't know the command line for exactly doing the configuration for power scenarios. Though you may want to give, I've never used it myself, but you may want to still try and do, and if you're so inclined, on the command line with POWER power CFG configuration. So power CFG is the command line utility to do that. But hey, you're using Windows 7. Why would you really want to do that through the command line? You can actually search for power and just type in and power and just click on the power management tab. Sharesh is mentioning after a clean install of older Windows.old is created with all the old data and programs, will programs still work here? No, they do not. You will need to reinstall all the programs that you have once you've done a clean install of your PC. But if you're doing an upgrade of your PC, of your Vista to Windows 7, yes, your applications that are installed will keep working. Is there a provision for all those who bought Vista after a cutoff date to get the upgrade for free? What is that cutoff date? Is there a handling and shipping fee for that? If yes, how much? I do not know exact cutoff date for when Vista was, when free upgrades were being offered, and this is an offer that OEMs or the PC manufacturers are making. It's not being made by Microsoft directly, so I do not know what date to give you. But please check with your PC supplier, Dell, HP, and they will tell you what exact details. Say I'm connected to a home group which has more than one laptop, to which I connect my webcam using USB. Will I be able to search data in device using Windows Explorer? So one, cam is not a device. Two, if you have like a storage, device that you have, which is connected to a home group PC, you should be able to look through and see if that is shared out in that device. Just a second, please. So, oh yeah, Pradeep is mentioning that he's put it up on the screen for you to see. You can actually see your device and go in there and look for content as well. Okay. I have, question is, I have Windows XP Pro SP3 machine with Core 2D processor, 4 GB RAM.
when I use .NET 2008, it becomes very slow. Is there any compatibility problems with XP and .NET 2008? Can I install .NET 2008 on Windows 7? Manoj, I believe you are referring to Visual Studio 2008. Visual Studio 2008 is a big program, and yes, launching that may take some effort, but there are no compatibility issues that we know of with Visual Studio 2008. And yes, you can install Visual Studio 2008 on Windows 7. So that's what's running on my PC as well. Which Windows 7 edition is best suited for ASP.NET Developer? Well, all editions really are. There is no single edition I would say is best suited for a developer, because the developer takes his, I would put it this way, he takes his capabilities from the operating system in the development front. So if you really wanted to explore, and depends on what is available to you. If you are somebody who's home-based, use Home Premium. That is fine. That is good enough for you because that has all the Aero features. You can actually experience all that you've developed using the WPF APIs. You can see all the jazz come up immediately if you're using something that has Aero-enabled Windows Premium, Windows Home Premium. If you are a developer in the enterprise may be able to supply you with an enterprise version, and the one that may be suited or required for you to connect to the CorpNet in your company. So as such, I don't think I can make a recommendation off the cuff. But if you're a home developer, use Home Premium. If you're an enterprise developer, the IT team will make the Enterprise Edition available for you as well. Mahendra's answer to the power question was Power CFG. Yes, that's what it is. How about security firewalls in Windows 7 and virus threats? Is Windows 7 secure from vulnerabilities? So we will take a look in addition to what has happened with security in Windows 7. But all I would say here is Windows Firewall was made much more granular in Windows Vista, to the degree that people were not able to use it efficiently. In Windows 7, a lot of these options in the firewall, which now does both inbound and outbound packet filtering and inspection, those things are now much more simpler to handle on Windows 7. In terms of virus threats, they haven't, but virus you never know, they evolve. So I can't make an oversweeping statement, but Windows 7 is much more immune to viruses because it comes built in with Windows Defender, which basically is anti-malware. And if you're using the newly released Microsoft antivirus, which is the Security Essentials, which is also free, that's a good combination to have on your PC. It makes it much simpler for you to know what action to take, and if there's really a problem in your PC, and it does so very unobtrusively. Okay. So there's a question from Mohan which says, just a second, there is a problem. Sorry, just trying to, there's been a problem. All right. Okay, so the question is, normally 64-bit OSs require minimum of 4 GB of RAM. Does Windows 7 also require 4 GB of RAM? Good question. No, the minimum requirement for Windows 7 to run on a 64-bit machine is not 4 GB of RAM, but it is 2 GB of RAM. So you do need minimum 2 GB RAM for 64-bit. How is assessing file and data sharing over a home group network different from a Windows home server? A home group is basically a feature of Windows 7, and it's only available in Windows 7 as of now. This eases off how you share files and data in Windows 7. On a Windows home server, the sharing which is available through any Windows Server products holds true for Windows Home Server as well. It does not currently have the home group feature, but maybe in the future versions it may be coming up as well. Actually, okay. What is Windows Security Essentials for Windows 7? It's a free antivirus that was released by Microsoft that you can download and install on your PC, and it's for free. It operates for free, and it basically requires you to have a genuine software or a Windows 7 on your PC to run efficiently. It is not supported on server editions of Windows, like Windows Server 2008, but it's only for consumer
is now exiting,
like Windows 7. Okay. Does Windows 7 come pre-installed with IE8? Yes, it does. When XP support will end, meaning when should we migrate to Windows 7? I don't really know for exactly, but there is, I think, I'm not really sure for this answer. I will be happy to get back to you with the answer to this question in short while. If you can drop a question to contest@mirawindows.com, I'll be happy to get this information for you. All right. Still not see some questions. Oh, okay, they're back. Is any external antivirus required for Windows 7? Not sure. Well, Jay, to stay safe, it's always recommended that you have an antivirus installed. But if you're asking, does Security Essentials do a good job, and whether you would need anything apart from Security Essentials? Well, in my home PC, I've been running Security Essentials and a genuine Windows 7 for some time, and till now, I haven't seen any virus come up at all. So, yeah, I would confidently say that Security Essentials does take care of quite a bit of things. Windows command prompt was not supporting indic in XP and Windows 7. What about in Vista? What about Windows 7? Does Windows 7 support Hindi in command prompt? Unfortunately, it does not still support it in the command versions, in the command shell yet. Is Windows 7 a good developer machine? Because Vista was not as good as XP for developers to work with command prompt run full screen in Windows 7. Well, I don't think that's really changed from Vista yet. I do not know when you make that assumption that it's not a developer machine purely on the merit of the command prompt running in full screen. but you have an additional feature called Windows PowerShell that you can use if you are a developer. And I still don't think, if you're looking only at the command prompt, that any functionality has changed in terms of what you can maximize and what you cannot. Okay, let's move on. We are almost hardly 30 minutes left into the presentation, so let's see a few more things and come back with more questions to take. All right, the one that's been asked quite a few number of times: security enhancements. Well, for security, the user account control, we have improved this and tuned it. I would put it this way: we have tuned it to a large degree. What this means is now you don't get a UAC for everything that you do, but this reduction is almost 30% of what was there in Vista. You still have UAC. It's good. It's there for good because it protects your PC from any malicious activity, but that's also configurable right now. In second, we also have a parental control that we have added, by which you can set limits on how much time can your PC be used. You can also, for this, you basically need to configure one account as the primary account and the second one is child account, which actually takes their setting from the parent's control of the main user. Action Center is the one that we've been talking about. It's denoted by a little flag which comes up on your taskbar in the icon area, which kind of talks about if there is anything that needs attention. For example, in my PC, I can see there are 2 actions that are pending on the Action Center. We will be seeing a quick demo of the things we talked about right now. So let's see what Pradeep has to show us for the security. We've talked about the UAC and the parental controls and the Action Center.
Hello. So thanks, Abhishek. So let me just go straight to the one where we are talking about the Action Center. So here you'll see that there's a small flag which kind of indicates to me that there's an indication, there's a problem or some kind of an alert. So if you hover over it, it kind of gives you this message which says solve PC issues, and there's one message for you. And if I were to click on it, it basically actually shows me the message, which in this case is set a backup. And if I were to actually go into the Action Center and click on it, it actually shows me a whole set of actions which require my attention. So in this case, since the maintenance activity is due from me, it actually brings me to the maintenance part, where it actually shows me an alert saying that your files are not backed up. From a security perspective, if I were to drop down on this, it actually gives me the entire security overview as far as my PC is concerned. This includes information like firewall is protecting my computer, update is okay, virus protection is on, and things like, you know, what is the UAC level. So here you will see that the UAC is actually off, which is a pretty low level to be at. Actually, you should be at a much higher level. And if I were to want to change it, I just need to click on this choose your UAC level, and what it brings up is the level of control I need over UAC. So it starts from never notified, going up to notifying me only when programs try to make changes to my computer, and from there's another one which is don't notify me when I make changes, to always notify. So I can bring it down, and this is basically the default level which is suggested, and if I were to change it to this, then it kind of gives me a message which also tells me that I need to restart my computer to turn on the UAC control. So these are the 2 examples I just showed you about UAC and about Action Center. Yeah. And thanks, Abhishek.
Okay, so that was the security and configuration in the USE itself. Let's see what are the additional things we can look at. Well, we talked about what's being taken out in Windows 7, which is there in Windows Vista. We talked about Windows Mail has been taken out, which was basically a successor to the to Outlook Express in Windows Vista. The whole Windows Live suite has been actually taken out from the Windows 7, just to make your install faster and quicker and produce and consume less space there. So all it needs to do is, if you want Windows Live capabilities like Windows Mail, Windows Messenger, Movie Maker, a photo gallery, Live Writer, or Family Safety, you need to go to, after you've done your install of Windows 7, you need to go to download.live.com and get this from that location. Now, why they've been taken off is because these are web applications, and they take and their life cycle is quite different from Windows life cycle. Windows life cycle is a little longer than these applications, and to make these applications release their versions faster, or to upgrade them faster, this is what was thought was would be the best. Windows Mail you can basically use to configure multiple email accounts in one application, and actually it's very useful. So I can configure my Hotmail, my Yahoo Mail, my not actually Yahoo Mail, because Yahoo Mail is now protected. You need to buy Yahoo Mail Plus for accessing that. Your Gmail, or your any other mail which supports POP or IMAP, to basically gather all of your emails in one desktop application, which is Mail. Messenger is the instant messaging program by which you can do many things. I don't have to delve deep. I'm sure you've been an avid user of Messenger for some time. Movie Maker is what through which you can develop or make home videos and do basic editing in the movies. So this is available again as a part of the Windows Live Essentials that you can download. Photo Gallery is your one-stop shop for managing photos on your machine. What this provides you with is a program that helps you manage and edit quite a bit of things in the photo gallery. Well, we will be delving deeper into Windows Live in one of the webcast series, which is there. So I've not spent too much time on Windows Live here, and Windows Live Writer obviously is for blogging and supports multiple engines for blogging there. We wanted to show you a bit of Movie Maker as well, but since there are a lot more questions that are there, if we have time at the end, we will actually get into this at one point. Right now, let's look at Windows 7, and if you wanted to be or wanted to see what the features for India have been in Windows 7, these are the things that you may come across. One, from personalization perspective, you can actually now go and download multiple themes online, and they're added from time to time. These themes, when you apply them, do not require any restarts. They're instantly applied to your machine, and there is an India theme pack. The screenshot that you see on the screen right now is actually from my desktop, and it is running the India theme pack. So that's the first thing you can do, and obviously there are a lot of pictures in there. The second thing that you can do, which has been released for Windows 7 already, is install Hindi language interface pack. The second screenshot that you see there is actually the screenshot from my machine. As you can see, a lot of them, if you can understand Hindi, is mentioned in Hindi. For example, Notepad, the calculator, and all the other things in the interface. So you can actually use this LIP to make your computer speak in Hindi. Hindi is only one language that's currently available or it's been released. There's a plan of releasing 12 language packs in the future. The exact dates for this are not known yet. Let's look into something new that Windows 7 enables. A Play To option is one where you can actually use one of your Windows 7 PCs to run or to play any device or play any media on other device. So effectively, it turns your Windows PC into a remote control, which means if I have like a large collection of videos that I wanted to see on my, let's say, a big LCD screen that I have in my living room, and that LCD screen is connected to my Xbox, how would I play my media device or my media cinema that I have on my local machine on that big LCD? The way you can do it is through Play To. Xbox is a device that supports Play To, so all I need to do on my Windows 7 PC or laptop is click on the application, click on the media, and say Play To, and use which device in my home group I want to play it on. We will be seeing a demo of this in a short while, but this is something, the media capability of Windows 7 that's been enhanced significantly. Windows Media Player 11 now supports, which is included in Windows 7, now supports a Me mode, which means you can actually see things playing in a very, very compact fashion. Wednesday, so we'll see that as well. And finally, remote media streaming is enabled, which means you can access your photos, music, videos, or whatever media is there, even when you're away from home over internet. So let's quickly take a look at one of the demos which Pradeep has prepared for us. It's the Play To. Let's see what is, and see hands-on do things.
Thanks, Abhishek. So I think one of the coolest new features about the new Windows 7 media player is the Play To functionality, which is built into it. Now, as I was saying, we all live in a connected world these days. We have multiple devices, sometimes multiple computers, and quite often we find that we want to play somebody else's music, or we want to play music from your computer onto another device. So Play To is one such cool feature in Windows 7. So let's take an example here. So here I have two computers on my home group which are connected, and if I were to click on, let's say, this album, which is Albert Serrano, and right click on it and I click on Play To, I would normally find a list of all the devices I could play to. So what it means here is that, in this case it shows me a laptop, which is laptop 1. And if I were to click on this, what happens is that the Play To screen comes up. So here what it really means is that using your computer, you could actually play on two different devices. It could be a laptop, which is the case that you are seeing here right now. It could also be what is called as a DLNA device. So for example, you could have a Sony Bravia television, an X series television, which is DLNA compliant on the network, and what happens is Windows 7 would automatically detect it, and you could actually play it. So I'll give you an example, one more of a video which is playing, because it kind of gives you a visual representation of what's happening. So here I have this video which is called Adrenaline Rush. And if Abhishek can go a little behind, you'll see that I have these two screens over here, side by side. If I do a Play To from here, what happens is you'll see that I'm not using the other one, and it kind of opens up. Let me just clear this list over here, because it's got a whole set of files queued up. नहीं आ जाएगा. So here you'll see that the video is automatically triggered, and you could even control it. For example, on this device, if I were to pause it, it pauses it on the Play 2 device. So Abhishek is having to move his camera so you can't see both of them together. But if you were, you'll see that now I'll resume it on the other one, and you'll see that the video has started. I could even control the volume or move it back and forth and do things like that. So it's not only a question of playing, but it's even like a remote control for you. And as I said, it works not only on another PC, but you can even connect it to DLNA devices. So this is what Play 2 is really about. I think I saw Abhishek talk a little bit about the mini mode. So let me show you that as well. If I were to minimize this on the taskbar, you'll see that it's available in the mini mode. So this is the mini mode and it allows me to control the media player and stuff like that. Yeah. I would like to add one more comment here. If so just like you can actually stream or play to video or onto different devices, you also have the option of actually getting stuff over the internet into your media player. So for example, if you have some videos, just let me pause this other Play 2 screen. So if you have some videos residing in your home, using your linked live ID, you could actually play that music anywhere in the world you are with the Windows 7 and the media player, as long as you have given access to that media on your home machine. So here you'll see these options which allow things like allow internet access to my home media, allow remote control of my player. So selecting these options basically means that it kind of gives you remote access to your home media wherever in the world you are. It's of course secured through your live ID and password, so you don't need to worry about all kinds of people having access to it. So I would like to hand it over to Abhishek. Thanks, Abhishek.
Okay, seems there's been a lot of improvements in the media section of Windows 7. Let's see what else, if else there is anything else, and look at a few more questions that we have. Let's look at the other feature is Windows Media Center. That's now included in by default with Windows Home Premium and additions above it. We've just listed a few features like inclusion of Internet TV and new visualizations and slideshows and easier media sharing in this. But I would, if you're really interested in exploring more of what Windows Media Center has to offer for Windows 7, we recommend an upcoming webcast that's there for the Media Center. We will be talking about it at the end when we have more things coming up. In addition, you can see a little video or live demo that Pradeep is running for us on the video right now about the Media Center as well. Okay, we wanted to tell you a few new features which we didn't know where to really squeeze them in, but you have a Windows XP mode, and this mode is most beneficial to people who are trying to run applications which are from older genre. You will have XP mode in your machine that you can run applications built for Windows XP, and they're not running on Windows 7. You can use actually Windows XP mode for this one. Windows Touch. Touch is a facility that or a feature that Windows 7 supports natively. So if you have a Windows 7 PC that has the touch screen, it works out of the box, and you've been seeing the move things with his fingers without a mouse using the touch feature of Windows 7. So you've seen him scroll just using his finger. There's no mouse movement here really. It's all with the fingers. You can see all these things that you can do. There is also a very interesting feature called Problem Steps Recorder. The Problem Steps Recorder is a cool feature that lets you record if you have any problem and you want to send something to a support technician on how you were reaching that problem. You can do that using the Problem Steps Recorder, and Pradeep, as of now, is showing it on the video. All you need to do is write problem, and the screen will come up which says record record your problems or problem step recorder, and from there it'll open up a little title bar sort of thingy, and from there you can say start recording, and whatever you record, and when you actually stop recording, which Pradeep just did, it'll throw you an option to save a zip file. What is stored in a zip file, as you can see Pradeep is storing it on the desktop. What is actually stored in a zip file is a bunch of screenshots from the things you did on the screen. Now this is a very, and it has a lot of detail on what exactly you did. If you open up that zip file, which Pradeep has just opened up for you, it's a simple MHT file, which basically has both pictures and text in a single file, which is a web archive. You can take a look at what goes on and then take these screenshots and supply it to the support technician. An interesting use of this feature also is when you can use this if you are a blogger and you want to produce some screenshots quickly for something that you want to demo. It's a good feature to use. It gives you multiple screenshots without you having to use the snipping tool available on Windows 7. All right, so Pradeep has already shown us the touch and the problem steps recorder. So what if we wanted to? What if you have few more questions running in your mind about Windows and you wanted some help on? What would you do in that case? And to basically help you with that, Microsoft has come up with a new forum that you can use. It's called Microsoft Answers and is available on answers.microsoft.com. On the video now, you can see Pradeep demonstrating to you a lot of cool things in Windows multi-gesture support. You can actually resize pictures. You can move pictures around using just the touch. There is no cursor actually being used here. So that's one thing cool that you may want to utilize in the future PCs that you buy. Now, we were talking about MS Answers. MS Answers is something that is backed up by Microsoft support engineers, which means there's support from Microsoft directly on that forum as well. It is available in multiple languages. It was launched just yesterday. While it's been there in beta for some time, it just launched yesterday. As of now, they're covering Windows products, which includes XP, Vista, and 7 on the forum. And in future, they will also have Office supported in MS Answers. So if you really are an expert or you need some help on Windows 7, please get to answers.microsoft.com and put in your question, or if you have answers to questions, answer people's queries on that forum. All right. In celebration of Windows 7, we have partnered with a third-party community called Mera Windows. It's a community which is run by Microsoft MVPs, Windows MVPs in India. They answer all the questions. They post all the cool new tips and tricks, all the hot news from the Windows world on the forum in Mera Windows. So they're also organizing launch parties, the community launch parties in various cities. So if you are in any one of these cities, you may want to be attending the launch party there. There are almost 10 to 11 cities in here. They're happening. The first one starts tomorrow in Mumbai and goes up to the last one in Bangalore on November 7th. It is happening over the weekend, so you really don't have to worry about taking time from your office. So with that, let me take a few more questions and see if I can help you somewhat a little more. Okay. It takes a while for me to get to the question, so hang on there. Okay. There is no audio. Is there a problem, Aman? It's fine. When we need to get touch sensitive, what we need to get touch sensitive screen on Windows 7, you basically need a touch sensitive screen. It's a hardware device basically that you need. So a few laptops now are also coming with touch sensitive screens. What Windows does is provide APIs and native support for these touch sensitive screens. But if you have an existing LCD, it would not turn touch sensitive just because you install Windows 7 on it. It has to be backed up by appropriate hardware. Jay's question is, as Windows XP has a good record in market for more than 9 years, still people prefer it because it's the best successful OS and easy to use. So what about Windows 7? Will it break records? Okay, there is no straight question to this because this is a speculative one. Yes, we hope so that it breaks all records of the past of XP, because there's been a lot of engineering that has gone in Windows 7, and Windows 7 has had some time to mature as a product as well. So we hope that it does quite well as compared to Windows XP. There is a lot more adoption of computers in the years, in the 9 years XP has been out. So we really hope that Windows 7 can make PC reach more places and help us do even more in the future. Okay, we are 10 minutes off to the close of the webcast. So if you have any questions, please put them in. I'm going to answer one or two questions, and then let's see what if there is, and talk about the cool contest that we have in store for you, and how you can participate in that contest and win an ARC mouse. So one question: most users with lower system configurations prefer to stick back to XP. Is there any way in which Windows 7 would help users who did not go for Vista due to high system requirements? Would like to know about development in Robocopy, which was mentioned on TechNet. I am not really sure, Omkar, if there's anything I can answer here, because you're making a specific reference to TechNet, and I don't have that reference here. The other question on Windows 7 migration from XP, well, first is use your Windows Upgrade Advisor, and from there, once you have determined that your hardware supports Windows 7, you may want to use the Windows Easy Transfer utility, which transfers all your files and your settings. Once you've done that, Windows Easy Transfer, the name says it all, just easy to transfer. You can back it up on a separate hard disk, and then make a clean install on your old PC if it supports the Windows 7 with its minimum requirements, which will be available to you once you run the Windows Upgrade Advisor tool. So that is the best approach I can tell you of migrating from XP to 7. Okay, there are many more questions. But let's just go on and talk about the contest a little bit as well, because the time is very short now, 4:25. We're ending in 5-10 minutes. So wanted to give an opportunity for all of you who've hung around for this long and learned about all the good things Windows 7 has to offer. You know now that you can also go and attend a launch party in your city. There is no fee for that. The contest is like this. In the next screen, I'm going to show you an application icon. It's an application from Windows. It's something that is there in Windows 7. You have to identify what application it is. Once you have identified what application it is, send us an email at contest@meravindowscom. Do include your name, and if you want a few hints, you can follow you can follow Twitter accounts for Microsoft India, which is @Microsoft India, or Mera Windows. If you are on Twitter, follow them. You don't need, if you just want to track what these guys are saying, just go to twitter.com/Microsoft India or twitter.com/Mera Windows. You'll get a hint there as you go and answer the application icon as we present the application icon in the next screen to you. Simply email us your answer at contest@meravindowscom, and in the spirit of things, we will not award the first correct answer, but we will reward the 7th correct answer because it's Windows 7. We will award the 7th correct answer that we receive in our inbox. You will receive a Microsoft Arc mouse, a very fancy designer mouse, which is really easy to work with and really nice. And it is Bluetooth enabled, which means if your laptop has a Bluetooth, you can actually just go ahead and connect to it without using anything else. And you can see it being shown in the video as well now, and you can see a beautiful arc that the Arc mouse has there. The winners would be announced on meravindowscom, and we will also send you an email once the winner is selected. So here, without further ado, here is your application icon. You have to identify what application icon this is from Windows 7. You have to answer us on contest@meravindowscom. Put in the subject line as answer to contest on Play 2 or answer to contest on 23rd of October. We'll put that in. A few more minutes for you to look at the application icon and think about what specific feature this is about. The clues are there on Twitter for Microsoft India and Twitter account for Mera Windows. You don't have to really have an account on Twitter to follow those. Just go there and take a look at those two accounts and see what this could be. I'll try and take a few more questions here in the meantime and leave the application icon there. Question from Shalish. Any ideas which editions support domain joined profiles? So this is basically an enterprise feature that you're asking for, and Windows Professional and Windows Enterprise and Ultimate do support the domain joined profiles. One second, I'll just call you back. So those are the editions that support. Does Windows 7 allow creation of mirror hard drive? A mirror hard drive. Oh, you're talking about RAID configuration, software RAIDs? Yes, this was also available in Vista and Windows 7 does enable, I think it's called RAID 1 configuration or something. But yeah, you can have disk mirrors as well in Windows 7. Okay, let's see. Please define Windows XP mode. So Windows XP mode is basically a virtualized mode for Windows XP. What this basically means is your Windows 7 is actually running Windows XP in a very transparent fashion. You need to install Windows XP mode on your Windows 7 PC to avail of this feature. If time permits, Pradeep will also show us a little demo, but for the time being, let's just move on. What is expected price and availability of Windows 7 Starter in particular? So you will not be able to buy a Windows 7 Starter anywhere because it's only available for distribution through OEMs. So there is actually no price that I can tell you because you can't buy it anyway. Windows availability, as soon as OEMs are ready, you should start getting those Windows 7 Starter PCs as well. Pavanaja has a question of the bug in display of calendar days in India. These days were shown as BA, GA instead of BU, GU. Is that bug fixed in Windows 7? Well, this is a very specific question, Doctor, and I don't have an answer for you right now. But if you can write to contest@merawindows.com, I can try and help you with that as well. Okay. All right, all right. Vijay is talking about why didn't you talk about Starter? Please list a few distinct features. So, Vijay, there are no distinct features of the Starter Edition, but it's a reduced version of Windows 7 itself. It uses all the capabilities Windows 7 has except the arrow. All the final things for Starter are not available yet. There has been a talk of 3 application limits, which is there on Windows Starter, which was there in Vista, which has now actually been taken off in Windows 7. But apart from that, I don't know if there is any specific feature I can talk about in Starter. Starter editions are mostly available in a local language. So if you're in India, you would expect them in Hindi or other 12 languages that we talked about, or whatever languages they decide to ultimately have. There is a question from Satya on, he would like to know if Windows 7 student offer is available to students in India. Well, not yet. That offer has not been made available for India as of now. Omkar says any features for multiple monitors. Sure, Windows 7 works very well with Windows with multiple monitors. Actually, that is being displayed right now to you. It makes it very easy for you to use multiple monitors. You can either use, as you can see, that screen there, which is there. You can actually duplicate it, or you can extend the display, or you can have just a projector-only mode. Some of the things, and this is about Windows 7 Starter, I wouldn't want to kind of, as I said, it's meant for a specific audience which do not have the capability of the hardware device or want or have a lower hardware device, and those OEMs are making it available. One of the things that Windows Starter also does not support is this multi-monitor feature that you're seeing right now on the video. Some of the other things that it does not support, obviously, is the whole arrow feature. It does not have live taskbar thumbnails. It does not have location and sensor APIs. It does not have touch. You can't actually create a home group on a Windows 7 Starter Edition PC. It does not have Windows Media Center or any of the premium things that you may actually think of, like even location-aware printing that we talked about, or a few enterprise features like BitLocker, App Locker, Direct Access, and it will come in only one language. So obviously, it does not have support for multilingual user interface packs. So all that is there that you may want to think of when you're thinking of Starter Edition. Venkat says, if once we convert disk into into GPT disk, can we again convert it into a basic disk, a GPT disk? I think you're talking about a dynamic disk. Sorry, I don't have an answer to this question as of now. But again, I will try and answer this if you drop us an email to contest@merawindows.com. Okay. To restore Windows 7 in case of any problem, will Action Center backup? Is the Action Center backup will restore the Windows? Not sure what you mean here, but I think Action Center will point to you any problems that they may have and solutions if there are any available. For restore, and if it fails, it may, first, number one, reliability has been hugely improved for backup and restore, so you shouldn't be seeing any of those problems happening with restore. But in case they do, you may well be guided by the Action Center on what are the possible steps that you can take to overcome that problem. All right, we have had the screens on the application icon there for a while. Let's take a look at what are the other upcoming webcasts that we have. We will have in-depth series on each of these features we've discussed today. Quite a bit of features are there. We kind of have an overview today. On 26th of October, which is the Monday, we will start with performance features. 27th, we will cover networking and home networking features. From 28th, it will be localization. On 29th, it will be entertainment through Media Center. And 30th, we will end with Windows Live Essentials. All of them being done by MVPs. You can see their names there: Shantanu, Alan, and Ravi Shankar, Sumitra, and Manan. A short URL if you wanted to register for any of these webcasts is mentioned there as well, which is bit.ly/play2. So this play2, please please note the caps because it is sensitive, capital sensitive. Play2 is P is capital and 2 is capital as well. So it's bit.ly/PLAYTO with P and T in caps. There will be giveaways and contests every single of these webcasts. So please do remember to attend them if you want to win a special ARC mouse for yourself. As we said, we will be giving away the prize to the 7th answer we receive, not the first one, so you've got to be the lucky one to receive it. It's going to be the 7th answer that we receive in our inbox from you about the application icon that we showed today. And just to let you know, if you're curious how many answers we've received already, well, it's more than one. That's all I can tell you. Let's move on. Thank you for your time today. It was pretty much a lot of fun answering all the questions today. We've gone over time, but we really appreciate all the effort and all the enthusiasm that you've shown with the questions that you had. I'm trying to see if there are any more questions that are pending. Let me see. There is one about restoring Windows. Oh, this has already been answered. Sorry. The one question is Windows Security Essentials really efficient? Does it conflict with Action Center? No, actually, Security Essentials does not conflict with Action Center. It beautifully integrates with Action Center, really, and it's really efficient for Windows 7. I think one of the things that we should do today when you buy a Windows 7 PC or get a new Windows 7 PC or upgrade is go and install Security Essentials immediately, because that's a completely free product and something which is extremely efficient. It actually uses, just to give you an insight, it actually uses the enterprise version, the enterprise antivirus that Microsoft has brought out, which is called Forefront, and it actually uses the same engines that Forefront uses. So it's really efficient, and it does so without consuming any specific or too much resources like the other the other antiviruses on the market have been using. And I mean, on my PC, I've been running it for quite some time. I don't even know that it's there. It's so light that I hardly notice that it's there, but it's always there. It's updating itself automatically, and I don't really have to worry about when it will be updated or whether it's tracking all the viruses, or I just need to go ahead and upgrade, look at if a new version is available and upgrade it or not. You can actually look at it. I'm looking at my PC as I'm talking to you, and looking at the process that it is running under, and it's called the seces.exe process. That is what it is, Microsoft Security Essentials. So MS Security SEC Essentials ES. That is the process name. And as I can see, it's consuming 0 CPU, which means making my PC not that heavy, and it's only using 1100K of memory. So it's memory resident, so obviously it will use some memory, but highly efficient as it's hardly using any memory from my on my PC or any CPU on my PC. So it's definitely a must to have, and if you still don't have it, I strongly recommend you get that. Once again, a quick look at the application icon that we have for today. The answers are to be sent to contest@merawindows.com, highlighted for your use again. Please send your answers to contest@merawindows.com, and not the first but the 7th person who sends the answer will be winning it. As I said, the number of answers that we've received already is more than one, so go for it. With that, we have come to an end. I do not have any specific question pending for me as well. At this time, that was an inadvertent error. Okay. At this time, I would like to again thank you for attending the presentation and helping carry the enthusiasm for Windows 7 forward. In addition, I would like to thank the co-presenters today, Puneet, Pradeep, and Abhishek Bakshi, who took time today to prepare for the presentation and help deliver this for you. With that, I would like to thank you again for staying with us, and I sincerely hope that you will be with us in the community party that we are having in your city. I have displayed the dates once again for your benefit. Do remember to register at launch.merawindows.com and go ahead and meet your Windows enthusiasts, other Windows enthusiasts in your cities at these parties. They are being organized by MVPs in the city. You get to know a few more enthusiasts from your city as well. Thank you for your time today. The meeting has been recorded, and we will be sharing it on the same Microsoft India/webcast page in a few days. Thank you for your time once again, and we will now be terminating the presentation as we see no more questions pending our attention. Thank you. You have a great evening. And